Hey everyone, welcome to CyberSense Insights Connect. I'm Rob Mossi, Senior Director of Product Marketing here at Index Engines, and today is a brief discussion with Brian White. Brian, why don't you take a second and introduce yourself?
Thank you. Thank you for having me here, Rob. My name is Brian White. I'm a senior consultant in product marketing at Dell Technologies, and I focus on cyber recovery and data protection. And I'm glad to be here today to talk a little bit of insights on CyberSense.
Excellent. So today we're going to go through just a few questions with Brian, a little bit around Dell, a little bit around CyberSense itself. So Brian, I think the first one lands in your plate.
Yeah, that's the good part about this conversation. We're going to be throwing things back and forth, and I want to know some things about index engines, right, and what CyberSense is doing, right? CyberSense has validated a new 99.9% SLA on the accuracy of detecting corruption. You have that. You've won numerous awards over the last few months. And this is really a reason that CyberSense is part of it or an integral part of PowerProtect Cyber Recovery. But you guys got to tell me what's going on over there at Index Engines with CyberSense.
Well, I really appreciate the question and the kudos there because we have won a couple of awards. The first is for artificial intelligence, AI in cybersecurity innovation. And the most recent one after that was a 2024 Fortress Cybersecurity Artificial Intelligence Award. So both of these awards are very pertinent to the SLA because the SLA itself, and let me back up just a second, but the SLA is not necessarily what some people might think an SLA is, right? Especially your compadres over there at Dell, who happen to think of it as uptime and availability. This is really, or even a time-bound SLA where you're trying to, a task comes in and you associate a certain amount of time to be able to get said task done. CyberSense upholds this SLA as far as software releases are concerned. And what does that mean? We hold each release up to 99.99% accuracy in the detection of ransomware behavior in the data that we analyze. So that's really an important distinction, I think, in being able to determine what the SLA really is and kind of what it isn't. But for now, we're focusing on that what it is portion.
Good.
So it's a standard here at Index Engines that we test against known ransomware variants and malware in order to maintain this particular accuracy in the detection at 99.99%. And if a release candidate does not meet this standard, we actually go backwards and we retrain. We actually look at the variants, we retrain the ML, we retrain the AI on that ML, and we make sure that that we can achieve that 4 nines of accuracy. Then and only then do we release the software to our partners such as you guys over at Dell Technologies.
Gotcha. That's pretty slick.
Yeah.
Testing, right? And
right. And to that point, variants. Brian, I'm sorry to interrupt, but to that point, we actually test against over 7,000 different ransomware variants. These are not made up ransomware variants. These are actual ransomware variants that we have pulled into our lab so that we can track what they do to data. We can track the patterns of behavior. We can identify those patterns of behavior. And then we can also, this is where the important part comes in, is we can help companies identify what they need to do after an attack has occurred. So help them curate a much smarter recovery.
Smarter recoveries. I think that is really slick. That's real good information. I love the SLAs. And hey, keep getting those awards. That's what we're talking about. That's a good thing.
Yeah. One last point I just want to kind of make sure that we get across here. And on the testing itself, just to show how deep we actually tested this, we looked at over 125 different samples in order to test the SLA. We infected over 94,000 of those 125,000 were infected with some of those actual ransomware variants that I mentioned. We only missed 3 files in our first pass. So that's
Wow.
really what brings us to that 4 nines right there. It's just the our dedication to the accuracy, to training the AI and the ML to identify those patterns of behavior.
That's pretty slick. That's awesome. I love to hear that. I love that in-depthness of being able to understand the behavior of things that aren't supposed to be there, right? That's really like, hey, you're not
Yeah.
supposed to be there, and that's what you guys find. So I think that's awesome. Good stuff.